I mean, I'm about to explain to you how we do the intro real quick. I'll start off, say my name real, and then we'll go around. You introduce yourself, and then we'll get right into it.
When no one else is around you.
We good?
We're great.
Alright, motherfuckers, this is Inappropreality, episode 132. I am DJ Mike Torch.
Mac Way.
Kate.
I'm Tiffany Allecia.
Shout out our sponsors, Haiku, Terry's Tees, Visionary in the building, Women That Talk Back in the building.
Hey.
Listen, damn, I've been promoting this shit without you being here. I've been like, Black Wall Street, the dates, and then now you're here.
Yes.
You're here.
I am.
You're here. Black Wall Street.
Turn up.
Black Wall Street. Hey, that's what? That's how many days away?
Like what? 9?
Something like that.
Yeah, like
something like that.
Crazy.
Something like that.
Something crazy.
26th to the 31st. Hey,
Like
shout out Tiffany.
That's
We're
me.
putting this together. Everybody that's behind the scenes. All black and brown businesses come out and support by black and brown.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the most perfect timing ever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We scheduled this before you announced this. Before I even think you got the phone call.
Nope.
Actually,
Nope.
This was
This
already
literally-
scheduled. It's perfect time.
This event is from the success of what we did at the marketplace.
Nice.
So like once we took over the marketplace, this downtown building in Springfield, and we were able to get 45 businesses and consistent traffic for 2 days. All the white people went crazy. They're like, we're broke. What's happening? Can we connect? And so
Canceling ski trips
yo,
off this hoe.
Times Square hit me up. All these people hit me up. And actually, an artist, shout out to Martin Thomas. Most people know him as Marty Marr. And he was like, yo, Eastville Mall is really struggling. They want to work with you. What's up? And so I
Struggling.
take those kind of things.
Can I keep it a buck?
That shit empty.
I love the fuck that you're. I love. Yo, as soon as we talked,
Mm-hmm.
and you told me exactly where this was going. Now I was so excited for you, but I don't think I still think the Eastville Mall is gonna be dead after this. I really do think it's.
But
gonna
you
be
know
dead.
how crazy it is that we're gonna spaz for a week
Mhm.
and like they see what they have,
What if
but they
it fucking
can't
really
recreate
turns
it.
to a black thing? Like
Oh,
this could be.
You talking too much. The ops is always listening. You already
Right.
know. If you make a deal with Tiffany, it's never one deal, and like that's the thing. If I'm stepping into a partnership with you, I'm going to take it to the next level. So
Do you picture that though? You see that? I feel like your vision is insane. What is your vision?
So my vision is a functioning geographic location within Springfield that creatives can flourish. And I don't mean, I got a gig on the side or I have a 40-hour a week job and then I do this when I want to. No, I want people to be able to do what they want within Springfield and be financially supported by their gifts and their talents.
That's what we all
that
want.
entails so much. And the reason my vision is really complex because I have my hands in so many things. Politics, protests, economic development, all those different things kind of come together to make these crazy dope opportunities. So everyone just sees another vending event, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I understood, one, the Eastfield Mall is redlining, or a lot of businesses are, which is why they keep dropping out. Most of their facilities are empty, so they're losing
You wanna
money.
explain what redlining is?
There's actually two ways that I was using it. One, redlining financially means that businesses are like basically towing bankruptcy and towing like losing it all until usually the holiday seasons. A lot of people are on the red line until November, December. Obviously, COVID changes a lot of things. The other type of redlining, which isn't necessarily the management of the Eastville Mall right now, but because everything, if you're from Springfield, you know all the stuff that happened at the Eastville Mall, and they made a lot of effort to get us out. They made a lot of effort. Like, you remember they did the teenage rules, they did the stop the parties, they did all those things. So redlining in a sense where they weren't necessarily renting out to
Black and brown people. Got it.
And so they have a lot of businesses.
A lot of shit happen at the mall,
Yo.
though. And every single time something happened at the mall, it was with us. I done seen niggas get jumped.
It
I done
was.
seen
It
shootouts.
was.
I done seen I done seen a lot.
It was.
So it's like at the same time, like, do you blame them?
I do. And here's why.
Okay, go ahead.
This is why, because you can never look at one situation for what it is, right? So we're looking at the Eastville.
But I've seen multiple myself.
Right. So we're looking at the Eastville Mall as this public space that people can go freely and experience and enjoy. How many other public spaces do we have that are active and engaging for the youth to enjoy?
Would you want to take your business to
So what I'm
anywhere
saying
where
is,
there's
hold on,
constant-
let's stay right there. So before we're gonna get to that, but if we stay right there, we now have these very few places with a large collection of people, and that's the only place that they can go. You're not going into a community center unless you have 150 a week to drop, and that's just how it operates here. You're not going on the block for many reasons. There's a lot of kids that aren't out on the street. So you had places like the Eastfield Mall that kids will just collect themselves because it was only a chill. Exactly.
That's what I used to do. Is chill.
Kids should not be chilling in a place like that. Period. And so it speaks to the other systemic issues that goes into part. So it's like, if we don't have after school programs for these kids, if we don't have community centers on every block, if we don't have all these things to entertain them, half the parks got glass and needles in it, and then all these rival people collect in one place, we're mad at the children, right?
I feel like I'm the perfect example of this because I was in after school programs. I did karate, taekwondo. I was in football. I went to the Boys and Girls Club on Carew Street.
Yeah, I went to the Boys and Girls Club too.
I did all of that shit, but still ended up fucking with street shit, and still, like, no matter what, all the things that I was already a part of. Granted, I didn't go that route because of all the other things that I was doing, but I still dabbled in it. I still dealt with it. I was still dealing with it. How do we get kids like me, who even today I think that shit is stupid as fuck, but as a teenager I was still dealing with it and still a part of it. How do we get the teenagers away from it, even with the programs that we already have?
Well, we have to.
Possible.
It's such an extreme, those programs, and then once you re-enter your neighborhoods, that those programs only exist in the facilities and the field trips that you go on, right? That doesn't change who's in your hood. That doesn't change what the block has set out for you. It doesn't change the people you live next to. You get what I mean? So it's like your proximity to that world was still very great. So it was a blessing that you could go to those places, but just because you had those experiences doesn't mean that gets cut out of your life. So it's like, again, it always goes back to the cycle of, like, how many opportunities are available out there, because a lot of people have experiences at these places, but not all of them are consistent. One, because their families can't afford it, or two, not all of them were as in depth. Some people just drop in because it's fun, and then some people don't engage in the programming, don't really believe in the philosophy. So it's like, it's just something to do. A lot of people in this city treat youth centers like childcare facilities instead of it being, I'm investing in my kids' futures and dreams, and they need to understand why they're there. It's kind of like, go away for these hours that I'm working or doing whatever I'm doing.
That's exactly what I feel like it is, because me, all at the same time, me thinking that I'm the perfect example, me also going to those programs and knowing kids in those programs that are murderers, like that are deceased, that like. Also, it's a yin and yang.
I just think it's proximity. I am not from the hood of Springfield by any means, but I do consider myself hood adjacent. I was born.
I like that.
I'm serious. I was raised on
Boston Road.
33 Chapin Terrace.
Never heard that
I'm a part
before.
of Boston Road.
No, Chapin Terrace. Yeah, so that big white house with the lions, that's my family. We came before that. We were in a 2-bedroom apartment with 5 kids, so we moved on up. However, that was my hood. If you know the street behind Chapin Terrace, you know exactly what goes down. You go down to the park and you go down to Main Street, like everything is right there. So my friends were in those experiences. When I was with them, I was in those experiences. It's literally block by block. You know what I mean? So it's like, your proximity is still going to affect you. I was literally one of the dopest people at my high school, but I did a lot of...
Stop it.
Period.
I did a lot of other shit too, just because that's my environment.
What school you went to?
Commerce.
The
High School of Commerce.
Central.
High School of Commerce. Business and Law. Turn up. International Backyard Program.
She just made a whole commercial for their asses.
Yo, I will ride Commerce forever. Ever.
That's crazy. That was my second choice, though.
Trash.
That was my second choice. What was your
It's
second
not
choice?
school. It's not
They have
school.
no second choice.
I think that... What you mean?
Central, and Central.
Do y'all
Shut the fuck
do
up.
anything
man?
but, like, sing and
I
play
walked in.
sports?
See, that's the thing. I'm an athlete, and right now, damn, you're the first person.
It's like y'all are basically cool. It's like how
No, not basically. Not basically.
We are.
Central is the shit.
It's
Central is the
it's
shit.
like North Face or Timberlands. Like you have your street cred, but like, have you really done anything new?
Yo,
or like
are you
excited?
crazy?
I'm joking.
Are you crazy?
I'm joking.
I know people that graduated from Central that work at Google, that work at ESPN.
I know, like all my friends, like I told you, are like engineers and dope people. Commerce.
I've been out of school too long
Central-
to be
Commerce
defending
got
that high school
Central,
like
and
that.
You can take a couple advancement.
You go to
placement
Commerce, you get a
go to
whole
Commerce-
fast food restaurant shut down. That's what
I mean,
happens.
I
When
didn't.
you
You
go
know
to
where I
Commerce.
was at.
That Burger King is long
That Burger
gone.
King.
Yo, y'all destroyed that Burger King.
To talk my shit. My
Commerce
high school was
devoured.
the high school in the Bronx. Just to
Talk
talk
that
my Truman High School.
Talk that talk.
Talk, right off the
Listen,
I-95.
BX.
That Burger King shouldn't have hired so many damn high school students. One, and two, it was just the closest thing available to us.
Yeah.
So we used it for a lot of different things.
We had a whole
paid
park
a lot
next
of
to
people's
us.
bills with Burger King. I'm serious.
We had a whole park next to us, so we was golden. We did whatever the fuck we wanted at Blunt Park. Whatever the fuck we wanted. I'm talking about everything. Everything.
Yikes.
Drug sales, fucking, fighting,
we
everything.
did that in the building. See, I ain't even been rolling up.
but like Blunt Park isn't the school property.
Y'all were sent to
The
school
presents.
That's not what y'all don't
to
understand.
learn.
Blunt
You
Park
have a
isn't
place to
school
fuck in your
property.
school?
So we were off school property. We was off school grounds when we did this shit.
Yeah.
So it's like, what can you do?
So fun fact, like I said, I've been spoiled for a while. And in the IB courses, if you are full IB, you're kind of like protected. You know, if like Black and brown people are doing well in a really failing school, they kind of just like push you all the way to the top, and that was really my privilege. I had this ID, and the people that had full IB IDs got to leave the classroom and the building whenever they felt like it because we deserved it. Like our GPAs.
That sounds like some commerce shit. We couldn't do that at Central. What is
our
that?
GPAs held up an entire class of people.
God
So yeah, no, I had a very different commerce experience. Like my classes were like 5 students
What year you
compared to the
graduated?
30 other, like the 30 students in the other classes in 2011.
What? How old are you?
I'm 26.
Okay, I just saw this the other
damn.
day. Your birthday just passed?
No,
Recently,
I just mentioned it because I was
I
like,
think it was her son's birthday.
yeah. It was my son's birthday, but I said a 26-year-old.
I just
from the
seen
North
this.
End
I was
was
like,
giving
wait,
a mall.
what? That's
Yeah.
insane. That's insane. Yo,
You know,
every
I-
single time somebody tells me they're younger than me and I see them doing so much, I'm like, yo, goddamn it. When I was that fucking age, I wasn't doing a goddamn thing. Like, I wasn't doing a goddamn thing. 26, I think I was still in Florida.
Oh wow, no, I do a lot, but it's not. I kind of was like bred to do this.
What made you want to?
Oh, I didn't. Okay, so
You just got thrown in this position?
no.
You gotta
So
respect
like
that.
it's like you know how people feel passion for music and or were trained to or military or whatever. Like I was legit trained to do this. So really quickly, my dad's a police officer and my mom's a social worker. But my mom is just like the extremist social worker. So she has like a law degree and all this kind of stuff. Anyway, they're first generation Americans. So
Where are they from?
they're from islands called Montserrat, St. Kitts, and Nevis. They're really tiny islands. Anyway, so when they got there, the pressure was on. Like the stereotypes, the pressure was on. You got to do great. We came here. I was born in a hut. You have all this luxury. Like you have to go hard. And so, like from a very
Luxury
young,
in a hut?
well, we have luxury having
In America.
apartments and homes.
All right.
Yeah, so it was like always evident that you gotta go hard. And so like from a young age, like I got beat for coming outside of the lines. Like you were really like strictly bred to be just the academically best. They would do things like, for example, I think the first time I got gas at a gas station, I was like 5. I vividly remember this.
Wait, what?
They gave you. My mom was like, "You need to be able to function in the world. You need to be able to talk to people." So she.
First time you got gas. The
At
first time you
5?
pumped gas?
No, not pump. Like went to a teller. Like I had to go to.
Oh,
and I
the
was
first
like,
time you paid for gas. See,
hi.
for a military guy, you can't say the first time I got gas. Like, the first time you got gas, I'm like,
Oh yeah,
I'm like,
my
what?
ex got
What do you
gas
mean you
a
got
few
gas?
times,
Like,
yeah.
what do you mean? Nah,
No.
yeah.
And so we used to do trainings, or like for example, on car rides, you know, you get to listen to music or talk. They're like, no, we're writing a story verbally. So I'm gonna say a sentence, and you have to make the next sentence make sense, and we'll complete the story. Like
I'm
my
about to
whole
do
life
that shit.
was like an educational, like, and then
I'm about to do that
so
shit.
like, and then my
sounds
mom
dope.
used to plan. She's a social worker, so used to plan events all the time. And I'm here, 6 years old, folding pamphlets and putting things up. And so like, literally, my whole life has been about execution. And so we lit. It became my passion because I fucking love Springfield. Like, that's my fucking shit. And I realized
What do you love about Springfield so much? Because I don't know anybody who loves Springfield more than you. I swear. I
just think we're so fucking spoiled and don't even realize it. Like, I was in D.C. for 6 or 7 years, and you're from fucking New York, so you know, like, there's.
For me, it's the history, and I feel like people take for granted. The city's amazing.
Yes, it is. So, in terms of problems versus solutions, majority of our grants monies goes unused. They lose grants because people aren't participating in programming. That's unheard of.
Do they know about these programs?
Exactly. So accessibility is a problem. But what I'm saying is, if you go, all these people running off to Atlanta or New York, you really do have to wait for your food stamp card for 6-7 months. Like, you can't just go into DTA and chill. You can't just say, oh, I want a building, and it actually be accessible to you if you know the right people. Like, Springfield only has 155 people.
Are we encouraging these people to go for these things, though?
You can go to, you could go to Brooklyn and be one of a couple million. Like, and it's the same size. So it's like, Springfield is so small, so much infrastructure, so many possibilities. It's literally just you deciding to get your shit together and do it. And so that's why I love it so much, because anything that I've ever wanted to do in Springfield, I've made it happen because of what's available to me in Springfield. The other reason why I love this fucking city is because it's just so creative. Regardless if I was a child or now as an adult, just so many people are constantly exploding creativity, and we are black. We are 65% black and brown, and you just don't get that. You get that in neighborhoods in cities, but you don't get to control cities like that no more. Everybody looking for fucking Wakanda in Africa, and the shit's right here. Like, if we fucking build the shit, this is as close as Wakanda as it gets without having to leave the goddamn country.
Word.
So that's why I love it.
You fuck with Killer Mike?
Yeah.
You fuck with Killer Mike?
Am I supposed to know that reference?
You don't know who Killer Mike is?
Someone teach me.
He's a rapper, but he like mad smart. That's the best way I can describe him. You need to link. Yeah,
like you need to. Reach
he's
out
all
to
about the black
management.
dollar, and
He's who I found out about Black Wall Street and everything. Like
locally?
No, not
Atlanta.
here.
Oh, Atlanta. Okay, yeah. Sorry, my focus is really on the 413. That's why I don't really know things
Yeah,
like that. But I would love that. I love that shit. I love that type of shit.
Yeah, he done fucking turn. He made Cripa-Cola and Blood Pop for the Bloods and Crips. He done turned gang shit, street life into actual businesses. He done did a lot. I'm surprised that you don't know who that is. Look up Killer Mike. I plan on having a whole conversation about Killer Mike.
Well, we can still engage in his philosophy.
But it's you.
Yeah.
It's you.
That's dope.
It's you. But like, I feel like obviously because he's known on a national scale. He's trying to turn black and brown. He's trying to keep the money within the community.
That's exactly
what you're doing.
Yo, that's lit. That's exciting.
Exactly
I'm
what
gonna
you're doing.
research
He's trying to keep black money within black money.
I'm gonna research it.
He's the one who preached segregation was the best thing for us.
It was.
Because the dollar stayed in between.
You know who
black
built
people,
the public
dentists,
education
doctors,
system?
Teachers, everything.
Did
was
you know that?
Black.
We built the public education system. He's right. So most of schooling before post-slavery was private, tutors, church, that kind of thing. When black people were freed, they did a lot of cool shit in their segregated cities, and they built free schools and started building people schools and rooms and just collectively bringing it. So yeah, segregation in so many ways was extraordinarily helpful. And like the time period after slavery is called Reconstruction, and it's like just dope, hitting milestones, senators, congressmen, lawyers, blah, 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 blah. And they kind of turned that around with Jim Crow when black people are being too successful. But yeah, I fucking agree with everything you just said. So I'm going to research him. That's super dope.
Killer Mike.
Yeah.
You went to commerce, right? And then I saw you went to a historically black college.
Howard University. Yes.
Why? How?
Why and how? So my brother actually went to Howard, and I went to his graduation in 2005, I believe, and it changed my world. Like, I had never been, and I'm from this area, and I had never been, well, I had never been around so many black people that were just so
Pro-black.
confident, beautiful.
Pro-black,
I heard ebonics. I heard like strong academic language. I saw strolling, dancing. Like it just fucking overwhelmed.
I love the South.
Yo, it's
That
a
ain't the
yo.
South. That's like the mid.
Well,
Where
it's
where is that
There's no
located
mid.
at?
There's the North.
Howard
There's
is
this
not in
the
the
East
South.
Mason
Coast
Dixon
and
line
the South.
Ain't
kinda-
Howard in
There's
like
the East
Maryland?
Coast and the South.
Ain't Howard in Maryland?
Huh?
Howard is
DC.
like Maryland.
DC.
That is not the South.
But
That's
it's-
yo. What?
That is
I'm
south
not,
of
no
DC.
one
Same shit.
considers
It's the
DC
south of the
the
line.
South.
It's
No
the
one
south of the
considers
line.
DC the South.
It's the South of the line.
It's not the
That's the
South.
Florida Georgia line, motherfucker.
However,
That's the name of the
it's
group.
very influenced by it because as DC was forming, like it used to be Chocolate City, and like all the white people up north wasn't as influential as the black people that were moving through it. So it kind of has a complicated history. But yeah, I went to Howard. It was fucking lit. I got a bachelor's in African American Studies, a bachelor's in sociology, and 2 minor certificates in psychology and political science. So it was fucking awesome. Pledged a couple things. Went to Ghana. Came back. Somewhere in
What
there
was
got
that
married.
like? How long was you out there?
And
Wait,
had kids.
wait.
Kids were good. Married.
You usually brush. You like. Yeah. I went to Ghana.
I
You need to
can
brush
do
off the
so
marriage shit.
We
Yeah,
going
it's like,
there.
Yo.
All right.
Yo.
So yeah, no.
Come on, what you know?
Military niggas.
You say. What? What about military niggas? What about them?
Look, she
Yeah,
gotta
her
roll.
pull
Look,
out
she
a
gotta
blunt.
roll up for this one.
Oh,
Look,
shit.
look.
Pull out a blunt for this
She
shit.
gotta get ready.
So yeah, I met my
Okay.
ex-husband at Commerce, and well, fucking. We're
That's
not
where you messed
explicit.
up right there.
Right. No, he didn't go to Commerce. He was fucking getting prepared to go. What is it called when you're? What's before military?
Boot camp.
Yes, boot camp.
Whatever
And-
the hell he went to.
Yeah, boot camp, Chicago, and then he went to course school. Anyway, he got stationed in Maryland. I was like, fuck yeah. And I was in DC. And so
You little whore, you.
Yes, exactly. And so,
Spicy.
yo, I'm a pastor's daughter and a pastor's granddaughter, so I had a very specific life, and I just threw that shit out.
Yeah,
the
we know
window.
church girls the worst girls.
Yeah, we hear.
We heard it.
Grew up in the church.
We heard the line.
So like,
Exactly what
anyway,
that means.
I met. Anyway, I can actually tell the story because this is funny. So get this. This is how my life changed forever. I meet this guy at an event. I was planning and we're gonna talk about that shit because word on the street is we're talking about Tiffany's new and taking ideas. Bitch, my shit goes back to 2008. So let's write that down.
What's a
We're
respect?
gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about that next. But anyway, I was planning a youth
I
convention.
like it. I like
I was
it.
planning a youth convention and he was attending it. Meet this guy. It was fucking dope. And so we do all the sneaky shit, Facebook, MySpace, and then I'm at Commerce, so I get to leave when I want. And so I go, I visit him. We do all that like sex shit, and like we write about it. And then we're super corny. So when he's away, I fucking leave my laptop on Skype. You guys remember Skype?
Mm-hmm.
And I'll sleep while that nigga watching me or whatever, like cute shit
Oh,
like
y'all
that.
was creeps.
And so
That's
like
OD.
real creep shit.
Yeah.
That's OD.
Real creep shit. Anyway, yo, real daddy and shit. Like really. But anyway, so one night, my
Niggas is sleep on sleep. How y'all Skype sleep together?
listen,
Go ahead, my
it was
bad.
cute at 16, 17. Anyway, so I leave my fucking laptop up because I'm in my room. It's my safe space. I wake up, guys. I will fucking wake up, and my pastor mother is sitting at the edge of the bed.
Oh my God, yeah. Your fucking heart dropped out your ass.
Oh my God, it just dropped again just
Yeah.
now, actually. I saw that shit. And so she literally just, and I bet she planned that line all night. She was like, I'll talk to you about it when your father gets home. Closes the laptop and walks out. And the first thing in my head, I'm like, no, the fuck you want? My dad has beat my ass for so much less.
Yo, imagine
In that
that.
one night, she found out I had a boyfriend. I lost my virginity, and I'm fucking hoeing while I'm
Oh,
supposed to be
damn.
at school.
You shouldn't have said all that. No, look,
All
I was
of
about
it.
to say, I was about to be on your
All
side.
of it.
Hold on, because before you said you lost virginity, I was gonna be like,
So ask me
Yeah,
what
hey,
I
not
look,
make it out that room
look,
seat.
your daughter's in the room sleeping with a man. Like, wait, what? Yeah, no, on the computer. Like, wait, what?
Ask me what I did.
But then
You hit that window.
But then you done told on
You
yourself.
hit that window.
Listen.
I'm jumping out the window with this one.
That was good. That was good. I and my bougie ass took 5 suitcases and packed it in. Called my boyfriend and said, "Hey, can you send me some money?" He sent me some money, and I took it to taxi to my best friend's house and left my phone. So that was me running away, and it worked. I didn't move back in. So like after a week,
How old are you?
I was 16. So after a week, I went to New York, and then I went to DC, and then I came back. And then I went to my best friend's house. So like,
Nah, you could have been my kid. I'd have popped up and beat your ass.
You graduated?
I'd have popped up in New York and beat your
that
ass.
wasn't an option.
You
because
graduated?
you gotta understand,
I'd have popped
I
up in
was
New York and
very
beat your ass if I was
disciplined.
bad. I'd have
Ain't no
popped up in New
way.
York and
Ain't
whooped
no,
your
ain't
ass.
no, ain't no way.
Man, one of my kids, they where?
I was very disciplined.
Send me the
And
Geo.
so when they were like,
Send me
I
that
don't
Geo.
sound disciplined at all.
Send me that Geo.
Like,
listen to my
16, I ain't now ran away to no damn New York. I ran away to Big E, Six
Max.
Flags.
I know. Max
I ain't not
mom.
now ran away to no damn
do
whole New
everything
York.
Max
to the
mom.
owner.
Not now.
Max mom got them implanted. They got. Max mom made them get shots. They got fucking whatever they GPS.
She know the
under
Geo.
they- under
She
they
got the
skin.
Geo.
Yo,
He's
that
where?
niggas not playing.
So when they were like, they were like,
It's the
Tiffany,
truth.
Tiffany, you're gonna have to come back here right now. We're coming to get you. Oh, really? You are? And they're like, yes, I'm coming to get you. And I was like, well, I'm gonna call the cops. What? What are you talking about? Well, you think it's okay to beat me the way you do, but it's actually illegal.
She turned to a white kid on him. He turned to a white kid on him.
This is what happens when you make your kids
I'm
read
American now.
law books.
We ain't at no
Hey,
home
look,
country
make
no
your
more,
kids read
motherfucker.
books, but don't make your kids read law books.
I've been
Like,
chilling
you
with my
niggas-
new friends, and they
Yo,
told
it's
me some
crazy.
shit. Y'all
I'm
can't
dead
beat me
ass.
like.
But guess what? Guess what? I knew that for my
sleep.
family is image
Snoring.
over everything, and that's kind of like where real recognized fake came in, because I know what it's like to live like a facade life, because that image is more than anything else. when you're in a religion.
That's literally
And
where that
so,
came from.
yeah, that's literally all that kind of pain or whatever. I'll explain in a second. So yeah, and then that's how I ran away, and that's just how my senior year ended. And then I went to college, prepared for whole shit.
I feel like there's so many questions I want to ask you. I
Whole
just
shit.
forgot.
Whole shit at
Yo, for
Howard.
real. Okay,
I'm doing
so
whole
because
shit
there's
at
so many
Howard,
questions
whole
I wanna
shit at
ask
Howard.
you, and I forgot all of them within
Sorry,
that conversation.
It was a lot. I
It
just
was.
had to get that out.
So then let's talk about how many vendors you got coming to Black Wall Street, because I feel like there's 1,000 of these motherfuckers.
There should be. So we are officially at 80 vendors.
Oh my God! Yeah.
Are you serious?
And we don't no ally vendors have signed up, so it's all 80 black and brown vendors. And so
Holy
yeah, it's super
shit.
dope.
You feel a certain type of way that no allies reached out?
I mean, they exist.
Let's hey look.
It's them. Yeah, it's them.
I have no problem working with none of them. You could you work with the ops? Can you,
That's what I do. You think the owner of the
Can
Eastville
you-
Mall is like,
right?
you know what I mean? No.
I feel like there's no way.
Everything-
Not that there's no way around it. I feel like there's no way
At
you
this point.
shouldn't
At
be
this
able
point.
to work with somebody who views different than you.
Yes, I agree. As long as I have the full reign to do what I do. The only way, if your opinions are going to impact what I can do, then I'm not going to work with you. Because I already know what I'm bringing to the table, and that's what I'm bringing. I'm actually bringing the table. So
Word.
it's like, and then allowing you to sit at it. So it's not like I should be respecting you in a way that I need you. And I think that's what a lot of black and brown people mistake when they're getting in these rooms. I feel like you need to be so tight before you get there that you know exactly what you're offering, and you're deciding whether or not you're picking this opportunity or you're leaving it there. And so because I operate that way, yes, I can flow in and out of the ops office and get exactly what I want from them, but it's not necessarily a skill. I don't have a reverence for them like many people do. They're not like an aspiration to get to. I think they cut a lot of corners.
God, yo.
I think they cut a lot of corners, and they stole a lot, and they were able to piece
You said
it
something
together.
that's very important.
So,
Like, that's not something that you're not looking to get to. A lot of people will talk the most shit to sit at those white fucking tables.
Yes.
And then to be another puppet. Like,
Yep.
you done fucking work your ass off to do all this shit just to fucking be another one of them.
Exactly.
Coon ass
Exactly.
motherfuckers.
And anyone, I feel like every individual person has all this creativity within them. I think that's what humans are just meant to do. So if you see and covet someone else's success, you're already failing. Like your vision, the way you are raised, your culture, everything that intersects to make you gives you this original thought pattern, pathway, life that you can take. But if you're focused on looking on other people, you're never going to be able to achieve it. So, yeah, it's always important to collaborate, but also know when the collaboration isn't worth whatever you're trying to produce.
What about the people within your own? Because I know for a fact, I mean, we don't gotta say no names.
Okay.
We don't gotta say no names, but I know. But this past summer, it seemed like within certain activists, there was like some type of turmoil.
Oh,
like,
hell yeah.
Why?
If the mission, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
If the mission is the same, then
because it's not the same.
But it is.
I'm gonna tell you right now why it's not the same. So the idea that we want black and brown people to be liberated is often the same. It's often very similar. We want to be free. Now, there's a variety of means to get to that freedom, right? And certain people have very personal goals for their lives that they align with their social justice fight. And so because they have these personal goals, they have to be protected, right? Tiffany works for who? Nobody but Tiffany. Tiffany works for what brands? Nobody but the ones I created. So I don't have a boss to answer to, and I don't have a timeline to adhere to. Anything I want to get done is going to get done in the time frame I want it to get done. So the summer was a hot mess because all these people who have other people to answer to created these long timelines for these very,
quick things that can get done, basically.
Exactly. And so for me, I've been in the city for so long that it's like,
you shady.
I've seen you made this promise 10 years ago. I've seen you made this promise 5 years ago. I'm going to get this shit done in a week. And it got done in a week. And people were mad. And then they got over it because my next event happened and they needed me. So they had to kind of reach out and build that bridge. But so, and then the other thing that's different too, because that was one thing situation happened, but other situations happen too. It's about, what mindset you're coming from. So my social justice mindset is always going to be an all or nothing, and I don't charge the people that need help. I don't charge them to save them. And there's a lot of people that operate that way. If you give us X amount of...
What do you mean by that?
I don't charge people to help them. So to me, whatever you have to create takes an excessive amount of money, you need to figure out where the fuck to get that money. Don't go to the fucking hood and say, we need fucking $20,000 for this or $30,000 for that. Nigga, we can't fucking eat.
Yeah.
And I'm dead ass.
No. I'm thinking about something you right.
Yo, we can't fucking feed our fucking kids. And you want me to come out of my pocket so you can create some space that you going to charge me for to enter business. Anyway?
Yeah.
So I'm paying you fucking before you do shit for me, and then I'm gonna pay you while you're doing shit for me, and then I'm gonna pay you after your shit was wet that didn't do anything for me. So it's like I can't handle shit like that.
Those same people put their arms around me and was like, yo, we should do this together. We're gonna do this, that, and the third together. We're gonna do this, that, and the third. And then look at this space, blah 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 blah. And then they didn't want to charge me.
Dog.
They didn't want to charge me the same shit.
Dog.
They want to charge me like this, like crazy prices. Like, yo, how are we doing this together?
Dog.
But you want everything that I do to back all the things that for your vision. You want everything that I got going for your vision. Fuck.
Listen, I don't gotta say shit. All I know is there is not one person that I worked with this fucking year, and I'll be very clear. There ain't not one person that I worked with this fucking year that ain't get some type of clout in the newspaper, that didn't get some type of more audience, that ain't get other people calling their names, that didn't level up. So, and I will leave it at this. If certain people were so dope on their own, they should be still exceeding at the same level or surpassed it than when I was with them.
Facts.
But there is a clear dip and dive
Facts.
and run and hide under your motherfucking couch.
Ay,
From
ay, ay.
when I was a part of something and then when I wasn't. And that's just facts. I'm not even talking shit. I just want them to know that I'm aware of vanishing chats and all this other shit made up of friends that I put together. And you can continue to be there. The reason why you needed to disappear is because you're not real.
Speaking of shade, I saw you got nominated for DBN some shit, right?
Speaking of shade.
There was, so, fun fact. People don't know that I actually help with programs and events at DBN.
I had no idea.
Yeah, there's just a lot going on. And whenever it gets confusing, I back out. Like, I just step back and let people figure it out. Because I used to be the one that jumps in and tries to help save other people's visions. But it's just exhausting. I can't do that. So
Congrats.
I just like people to reform and they keep going. And it just goes on from there. So I'm excited. I do have more partnerships with DBN and other stuff coming up, so we'll see.
Are y'all afraid of the police?
Hell no. Not
50-50.
I. Except the person who's
50-50?
out there 24 hours
50-50.
a day. Yeah, no, I'm not afraid of it because I'm not afraid of death. So I feel
You
like
don't
the
want
only
that.
way you're afraid of police is if you are fearful of death. And
yeah,
so
that's
it's
my
like,
greatest
because
fear.
that's the biggest thing that they can do to you, right? To kill you. But if for me,
No.
what do you think they can do?
They can ruin your whole life by just arresting you for dumb shit. They don't gotta just
So let
kill
me
you. They can just arrest you once.
Let me rephrase. I would say that's what I'm saying. So like, you know how some people like found freedom or peace in jail within their minds and like all that kind of stuff. It's like I feel like police, we give them too much power because we make them out to be this insurmountable thing that can't be whatever. They're dangerous as fuck. They're literally the KKK legalized. But we've known this for how long? You know what I mean? And it's so, because it's not just, oh, I know this has to change. It's I know this, and it's also a part of life. So now I'm assigning fear to it, and I'm realigning my behaviors, and now I'm living my life like always trying to avoid or interact in a specific way.
I wrote this question down before knowing your father was a cop.
Yeah. So and that's the other thing too.
What is your honest opinion about it?
I think that the police system in this country was made to destroy the black community, which is just fact. And I think that we cannot separate all the destruction and just oppression they've caused from whatever they were really meant to do. And I think until we start having the real hard conversations, literally taking people out, revamping everything, like there's going to be a systemic issue doesn't get done by changing a law. Like, just like racism doesn't go away. We had the 1964 Civil Rights Act. We had fucking the Emancipation Proclamation. Like, it doesn't change it if people still believe in the principles that uphold those things. So if people are thinking black people are bad, brown people are bad, they deserve to be in jail, they deserve to be murdered because they're teaching it in the fucking police academy, then it's going to take time to dismantle. Not time as in we're going to wait to start operating as if we're not free, but time as in these people, they're not ever going to just go and fire everybody. They're not ever just going to go and turn over the system, because this country, we might be the majority in Springfield, but we're, I think, not even 15% of the country. Now, Spanish people, brown people,
oh my god, I was literally about to ask, is the black, because I see some people giving their opinions on saying black and brown, or it should just be just black because Hispanics, all types of Hispanics fall under the same fucking category. We're getting treated the same way, but the fight, in my opinion, is two different fights.
It is.
What is your opinion on that?
Wow.
So I feel like
I never knew that.
I feel like once you have to force an identity on someone, you're already going down the wrong path, right? And even though we know a Spanish person has African descent in it, like they have to have it.
There be Hispanics that it's Hispanics who be like, that are complaining mostly about this.
So yes. So well, yes and no, because I know. I know. Pause. My family, for example, really quick, short story. My grandmother had my mom in Montserrat, and then back then, if you have people in the Caribbean islands, they go to different islands for work. So it's normal for you to leave your kid with their grandmother or someone else. So she left my mom and went to work on another island. However, she just decided one time not to get off the plane, and then this is literally what she said. She didn't know what island she was dropped off on. She gets out at customs, and she's like, you know how it goes for pretty people. I was like, what does that mean?
How do you not know where you're going? Anyway, you got a ticket to go to nowhere? What do you mean?
So the flights, her ticket was to Tartola, but the flights on islands usually have multiple stops. She didn't get off the plane, so she went to the next stop. You can't do shit like that now, but you could do shit like that in the fucking 60s, 50s. Anyway, so she gets to Puerto Rico. She's super pretty. She does whatever she does, and she gets to be in the island. That's the only reason why we got to come to America. She gets married, and she has 4 kids over there. All my aunts, uncles, full Puerto Rican, Spanish their first language. My mom speaks Spanish. We are in a 2 fucking language household. Anyway, all of them are my color, right? But because they were raised in Puerto Rico, being called black, moreno, whatever, it wasn't necessarily a good thing. And so the closer you were to whiteness in a lot of these Spanish places was the more better you got treated, the more opportunities you had, the more fair your skin is dope. So they have like a whole history of colorism in their community. So there's people that you can find in the Dominican Republic and other places who are darker than me that still wouldn't call themselves black. They not necessarily would identify as brown either. Like, these are all new labels we're trying to create for ourselves. Because what you guys got to understand, we never, like in Africa before the Atlantic slave trade, we weren't saying that, oh, this is a black person, this is a black person. That was a classification that white people gave. And it wasn't black, it was nigger or negro or whatever it was before that. And so it's like, then you have us all in a country together, in all these different countries together, and we need to start identifying people for who they are, which is why you have the term black or African American and things like that. And then when we started having some voice, we say, oh, we don't want to be called Negro. We don't want to be called colored. We don't want to be called black. And we keep making stuff up until it feels right. African American felt right for a lot of people for a while, but now in this day and age, people are like, well, I'm not really African. I don't feel that connection. So people just prefer black again. So it's like we're intersecting all these conversations at once, and it doesn't have a clear answer. But this is like a problem for now. I don't think 10, 20 years from now, with all this going on, that it's going to be as much hesitation to use these labels, because it's going to be normal. Like, you got to think about it. In the 70s, everyone that wasn't running around in corporate America saying they're gay, now it really doesn't matter. You know what I mean? So it's like all these titles that had taboo before, it's going to take a process to break down all of the systems of oppression that make people feel some type of way about the label. Because our skin is brown. Our skin is black. So what the fuck are you arguing with me for? You know? But they have to get through their own cultural issues before they can accept that for themselves. So long story short,
I get that.
The answer is people are going to have to start defining themselves in this world, and we're just going to have to see where it takes us. So for the sake of inclusivity, I use the word black and brown because there are that just gap of people that is all different shades or whatever. And that's what we're being representative of right now.
Now, once that happens, how do we get people to stop this light skin, dark skin shit?
Listen, I don't know. Because, like, dark-skinned niggas be doing something.
Yeah, see?
But, like, light-skinned niggas, wait, shut the fuck up. Because light-skinned niggas, like, if the light-skinned nigga holds you the right way, shit changes, too. So, it's just, like, it's all
I would know something about that.
But, again, that's all based off of fallacy. And because we say it now, there's stereotypes where people act certain ways, too. But I don't know. I don't think these labels are actually going to, like, really, I hope that we can have some type of fucking creative orgasm and just focus on other shit. Like, you know? Like, why do we have to... No, I'm serious. Come on. This whole year, people finally had to sit with themselves. Your job got taken away. Some people got breakups. Some people, like... You literally had to sit with yourself and be like, what the fuck is my life if a white man isn't telling me what to do for 40 hours a week? You know? And I hope that woke up a lot of people to see what they have of themselves inside. So I'm predicting like a creative revolution, only because history shows after shitty times, you get stuff like
It's
the Harlem,
booming.
you get
It's
stuff like the
booming.
Harlem Renaissance, you get something
It's
like
booming.
the age of internet, you get, so we about to make some shit up. It feels good.
Y'all believe in polygamy?
I am polyamorous, so
Let me-
if everyone can fuck,
Hold on, let me
we
go
got
back.
it.
Let me go back to the other point though. I definitely agree that in the
This
future,
could be a 2-hour episode.
in the future, we
What
can
time is
definitely it's possibilities that it could trend towards everyone identifying themselves or different things like that. But I felt like to the same things both of y'all touched on earlier, just speaking on white people, and it's like when you walking in the door to the come on, but I don't need a man to do that. You can tell me that. I need a man to do that. Pause 3 times now.
Nah, you keep doing
You
it.
talking
you keep
to a
turning
white
that shit
man.
sideways,
I ain't
then
turning
on the
shit.
live, that shit.
That's what it do
interested in
itself.
its point.
That shit.
It does it itself.
I'm just,
So like I was saying, so when y'all was talking about the op being the white man that you work for, like for me personally, I consider the op any race, any person that's going against the benefit of me, my family, and my culture. And that's not just white people. So to the same thing you were saying
Sometimes
about
the op
black
be
and
your own
brown,
people.
you gotta understand that.
Mhm.
You gotta understand that. To the same thing you were saying about Americanized black people not identifying as African American. There are Africans, Indians, Hispanics, and white people running more businesses than black people. So when you're talking about the boss man, it ain't even just a white person.
Nope.
It's a lot of people working for a Hispanic. It's
And
a
there's
lot of people working for
there's also
Indians,
people who
and they're not
fucking
working
think
for
that
black people.
Niggas are, it's like 50-50 with white people in the United States.
And there's
we're
also
we're not that big of a percentage in this country.
we're not.
We're really not.
We're not, because we're
And
we're,
that's the
we're,
reason motherfuckers look for that inclusion.
There's
people
more
don't
Hispanics than
That's
there
why
are
people look for
black
that
people.
inclusion.
People
that
don't
inclusion
realize
concept.
that. So again, with the housing redlining, as we were talking about, when black people, again after freedom and all that stuff, and black people started to move in certain places to control it, the housing industry legit would say, okay, this is, you can't go past this line, like,
Yeah.
and that's what redlining meant, because they literally mapped out red lines all over and did not
There's
let
people who don't even understand that
and
shit.
did not let black people in certain areas. So we do live in high populations of black and brown people, and that's all we see across the country because that's there. Like, we were only allowed to live together. But in relation to how many white people there are, and like everyone figuring out that there's sundown cities, that there's cities with 100 or towns with 100% white people, and back then and sometimes there's even now, you can't be in that city after dark because they have full right to kill you and no one's gonna do anything about
I have
it.
no idea about this.
Oh yeah,
Well, I
sundown
live
cities,
by a
yeah.
couple
You said
of-
sundown
I
cities?
live- I
Sundown.
live by a couple of
Sundown.
motherfuckers,
Yeah,
man.
so
I never heard about this.
Yeah,
What?
sundown cities, and
Well,
don't
to
think
North
it's
Carolina,
just in the
South Carolina.
Massachusetts has
What?
sundown cities too.
I
So
believe
it's
it.
populations of whole towns. So think about Springfield. If Springfield was 155,000 people and it was all white people, right? But you got
I couldn't imagine.
right, but you got Holyoke on the other side, and you have Enfield on the other side. If you were to drive, there's no highway. You have to drive through Springfield. If you had to drive through Springfield and the sun was going down, you would just not make that trip. Because if you went there and was not out of their jurisdiction before the sun was down, and that really means sunset, like
Yeah.
before the sun starts setting, they can kill you. They can murk you. No one's going to be finding your body. No one's going to be able to have jurisdiction to go back in that town and figure it out.
Can we? I'm talking like court of law.
Mhm.
They could just kill you, or can they pull
It
you
ain't
over?
gonna make
as
it to the
suspicious,
court of
like-
law.
like,
It's not gonna make it to the court of law.
It's people. So, like,
Yeah.
say I walk
The
past
entire
Mike George
town
house.
moves like
Oh,
that.
that's a nigger. Let's go get her. And no one's going to stop you. And so what people don't really understand is law and order is very fickle. You have to believe in the law, and you have to have someone who is protecting that law in order for it to work. So if these towns are 100% white people, they have no consideration for anyone that's not them. Whatever they say the law is the law. And so now if the federal come in and say, yo, y'all been killing black people, what's up? Just like the SPD, just like everybody else, they can say, I have no idea what you're talking about. What? And like you can literally impede, and then they just go away. So it's just like, it's a real life thing, and it just happens consistently, not necessarily to that extreme with sundown towns, but in certain just any things. There's clubs like that, there's bars like that, there's organizations like that. Like if you're around them at a certain time and you are by yourself, you are at risk.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Yeah,
I can see all that. I didn't.
Yeah, it's crazy. Fucking
know
being
it
black
was
and
like
brown
that.
is more dangerous
I ain't
than
know it
people
was like
think.
that. I never heard no shit like
It's
that.
like,
I learned something today.
right. We doing
But
some
even-
radical
but even
shit
still,
every day.
It's that same shit when it's like when you said clubs and shit like that.
Yeah.
Like when you see a club certain dress code, it's like,
Yep.
why don't you just put no black?
Right. That's it.
Like you
That's
don't
it.
put everything niggas wear in this shit. And then even when niggas wear even when niggas don't wear everything,
You
that's
still
on
find
that.
something wrong.
It's just like, oh damn, why am I getting fucking searched? Like I'm
'Cause you're
going
black.
to prison. Like I'm fucking like yo, what is good with this shit? This is OD.
Mm-hmm. It's real.
It's crazy.
But it's
What
all
is
good 'cause we changing
what is
that
your
shit.
mission right now? What you got planned for next year?
Well, January 1st to January 15th, I am disconnecting with this world and getting in some real hot girl shit. Hopefully, I'm serious on Mount Rushmore. So
I'm thinking
so
she's gonna go
serious,
meditate,
That's
try to get
exciting.
away from the world.
But there's so much to say. I'm sure people are gonna be doing their research and listening to this, so I'm only gonna give so many.
Mm-hmm.
But there's something opening in February. Fuck yeah. And I'm also doing a lot of these vending events, but more spaced out. They're not going to be as consistent. They're just going to be really big, maybe one every quarter. I am working with the marketplace to like fuck up downtown all summer. So we are connected. I say we because Darius is here. I love him. Me, Darius, and Jason have been working so hard to make all the right partnerships, and they secured this amazing.
Hey, you better
place.
be careful.
What?
You better be careful with who you working with.
Ooh, see, and that's. Can we talk about that part of
Yup.
Springfield?
We could
'Cause
talk about
it's
that
like-
part, because
so-
it's like
because-
they be those people that like you swear be all about certain shit, and they really do got their own agenda behind the
So
scenes.
you know what's crazy? And my thing is, so let me just put it out there for everyone to fucking know. Here's Tiffany's selfish agenda. I want to make fucking millions off of audiences that aren't my people, like aren't my. Like, if you can financially contribute to my success, I want you to do that. And so, good thing. There's like 200 other million people in this country that I can get money from. So, that's one major goal. But before I get to that goal, my selfish goals is to make Springfield a functional place. Because I want to stay here. And I wouldn't stay here with my kids at the, like, with the mentality it is right now. So in all the work I do, if you're asking why I'm fucking going so hard, it's because I love the city and I feel like I can be super dope here, but not in the way it is now. And so all of my business shit for profit is coming at a later date until all this shit gets cleared up. So I do have selfish goals as well. My problem is
if
with
you
the-
don't, you're
my-
a cook.
my
If
problem-
you're out here just for the people, I feel like
I
if,
think
you're
think-
spazzing because you have to have some type of self.
Yeah, so
you have to have some type of goal.
the problem
personally.
is when you pose your selfish goal as someone. Don't fucking convince me that I want the shit that you're trying to do more than I want anything else. You know what I
Word.
mean? When people try to act like their shit is the best shit, and you realize it's just fucking like elephant shit. People gotta start respecting it. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of people in Springfield talk a good game, and they don't. Like when it comes to the business deals, at the end of the day, it's like, oh, you acting like you for the people, but this don't look like for the people. And when that comes out, I found to use them for what they are good for.
Yep.
And then once I'm done with them, I go on to the next thing. And that's with any business partnership. Anyone should feel that way. And you should always feel like this isn't forever. And I just have to be real with that.
And with that being said, because of things that I've learned this past year, you should never give anybody your all.
No.
For that reason, because I'm not talking about people you done like these guys. Like, I'm gonna tell them every fucking thing.
Yeah.
If you're meeting somebody new,
hell
you
no.
you gotta be. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You gotta be careful.
Especially
what
when
say.
you have a resume.
Yeah.
Because people aren't meeting you
They'll
based
be
off
quick
of
to-
I want to talk to you, you're a stranger and I might connect with you. They're speaking with you because they know that you have something that they want. And that's off rip with anyone you're talking to. You get what I'm saying? And so if you have that mentality, no one is going to, they might fuck you over, but they can't knock you out because you're technically, you not only should you always be 10 steps ahead, but you also have like 5 plans
Those are
at
the
the same
positions
time.
you have to put yourself in though, because
Yep.
people would like literally give everybody their creative direction.
Yes.
And then be like, wait, huh?
I mean, like making a
And
studio
then
pop in
and then get
them
slapped in the
slaying
face
you, yeah.
like, wait, yo, you're crazy for
I
even
experienced
doing that.
it.
Why would you do this?
I
that, and the
experienced
third?
it. If y'all want to talk about hours in terms of content creation and idea
We don't gotta talk
development
about hours.
and consultation,
Hours.
I want some fucking invoices from half of the damn organizations in this fucking city. If we
Yikes.
going there, you know what I
Ooh.
mean? Because
Word.
like I've made myself extraordinarily accessible, and that's why I had to pull
Yeah, I
myself
heard.
all the way
Yo,
fucking
you know what's
back,
even crazier?
'cause they're
Yo,
disrespectful.
Yo, you don't understand, yo, because like I had a session, a weed session, which is completely different from what you do, and completely different than what the summer had ran. And like I respect it and I love it, and I would never take away from anything you fucking do, ever. But when I did my session and I did my thing, and me knowing my value for what I was gonna bring to this type of event, and I know what this type of event brings, and you guys are complaining about my venue fees or my fucking my vendor fees.
I just want to know why people complain.
Like they're two completely different things.
Yeah.
They're two completely different things. Like, why the fuck are you talking shit to me? Oh, damn, that's crazy. All this summer, I was paying da-da-da-da-da-da for da-da-da-da-da. And I'm just like, well, why do I have to even explain myself? Like, yo, it's this.
We
it's
also
that.
need
it's
to
this.
stop, I think. And it's going to bring some exclusivity to Springfield for a little while, but it's also going to force niggas to level up. When you can't afford to sit at this table anymore, you just can't afford it. You know what I'm saying? And people are going to have to start getting used to that.
Yep.
Everything isn't going to be accessible to everybody in Springfield. Some shit has levels to it.
Yeah.
And if you can't
Thank
afford it,
you.
then that's your response. You don't have to explain yourself no more. Oh, you can't afford this experience. It's okay. There's others coming. And that's not even a diss. That is what people need to understand.
Nah, it's
'Cause a
real
lot of
life
people
too.
talk hot
Yeah.
shit about them being this, and that, and they're the first to ask for a discount. They're the first to ask you to fucking brand their back
That
and
nigga.
break your shit for that. You know what I mean? But it's your.
Well, you said a Honda?
If you don't respect
I got
yourself
70.
first and keep entertaining this shit from people, and I had to learn that. Like when I say niggas owe me money, niggas owe me money. But more
She on niggas'
importantly,
backs.
niggas owe me time. You get what I'm saying? That I'm never gonna fucking get back. And the problem is they're not even their
Inappropriality
time.
for the culture ain't one of those people that
No,
owe Tiffany money.
no.
Hey,
No.
look, we done
No,
sponsored.
you're not. You're
We
not.
done-
You're
we
not.
done-
No time.
But what I'm
Hey,
saying, here's the
hey,
thing. Here's the
hey.
crazy thing about time,
Yo, that's
which is
crazy.
fucked up that I had to learn this year, which was my greatest lesson.
How? That's
Listen.
what I don't understand. Like,
Yo.
you're so for the people, man. You're more for the culture than me. I
Yo.
feel like at points, it's like, yo, goddamn.
Here's the
Like,
thing about time. I had to, and I did this, and everyone should do this, regardless if you have degrees, whatever you have, right? You need to quantify yourself in terms of realizing what you're given for free. So not only did I give a lot of people time, right? I gave a lot of people my expertise. I gave a lot of people my Howard knowledge, my SNHU knowledge, my Boston University knowledge, and my American University knowledge.
Talk your
my
shit.
experience. You know, I gave a lot of that. And here's the shitty part. If we go fucking hour for hour, their hour isn't going to be as worth as 25 minutes of my time. So it's not only did I waste time, but
You
they
didn't
can't
gain
even
nothing.
give me back what I've given them
Word.
There ain't
because
no
they're
give
not
and
on my
take.
level.
Yeah.
And so you have to make the cognitive decision, just like any lawyer decides how much pro bono work they're going to do. Every queen decides how much they're going to give to the peasants. You really have to have that mindset, because businesses that aren't on your level, you have to consider them vultures. At any moment, they're trying to figure out, what can I take? What can I buy? What can I act like was an original idea? Whenever they're interacting with you, from your dress to your motherfucking wig to the length of your damn eyelashes. And people have to take what we call, let's use this word, intellectual property more fucking seriously. You can't do shit in these white people businesses, because if they put the and fucking duh in one sentence in a specific order, believe the copyright is already out. And in the black community, we really struggle with that, because it's all love. It's all about our art. It's all creativity. But these niggas be getting paid off of the shit that we give them. So, yeah.
But part 2. But look, I want to talk about the Black Lives Matter shit that you had done.
They say
downtown.
Black Lives Matter when they really ain't shit.
I actually, my focus was always going to be like economic development, but I was kind of thrown into it. So,
talk about the mural.
Just the whole like movement this summer, kind of.
No, the painting, the mural.
Oh, the painting, that was amazing.
That they try to give you. That they try to give you like a slap on your wrist for.
Bang, bang. So, speaking of history,
can we talk about all the fines you got too? Go ahead. But before we go onto the fines, go ahead, let's talk about the Black Lives Matter mural.
So the Black Lives Matter mural, guys.
Fucking did protests in front of the police station, all types of shit. That's why we gotta do more time.
Club Springfield, you know.
We got. There's so much we gotta talk about. Come on, go ahead.
So all right, Black Lives Matter mural, and here's the real story. So you can look at all the news. They're just lying. Everyone else got Black Lives Matter murals after George Floyd was murdered, right? This was in the beginning of June, right? And so, by the, that was May. It was around that time. So it had to been like two months or so. It was crazy. It was crazy. And so, by July, I'm like, well, damn, we're black as fuck, and we don't have a Black Lives Matter mural. And so I just happened to be with an artist, Jose Maldonado, and he was like, well, we did one in Holyoke. We can do one in Springfield too if you want. I'm like, fuck yeah, I want. And so, literally within like 7-8 days, we got the fucking funding, through fucking unemployment. That's the other thing. I flipped all of my fucking unemployment to make all my brands pop in this year. And I saw a few people do that, and that was just the move. Like, it really, that money was never supposed to be mine. So now that it was, I'm gonna look like I just got a $19,000 loan. So
everybody else was buying exotic, and
that's what it was. And so we got it done. Now this
going
is
to
what
Miami,
that
and
shit lasted for a month.
This is what happened. July
Videos lasted for a week.
8, the week before.
And what's the last
I
video
had
you
put
saw
out a
from that
flyer, but I didn't post it on social media. I sent it through like messengers and shit like that, because we were defacing property.
Hold on,
and then
real quick.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a video since stimulus dropped. Where the videos at? Ain't no stimulus drop. Ain't no more videos out.
Yikes.
That's true.
Ain't no more videos
That's
out.
true.
Stimmies dropped. Y'all got videos everywhere. Yo, check my new video out.
Rap
I got a
Poison
whole
just
SoundCloud
dropped.
album.
Yeah.
We seen a
lot
Rap
of people
Poison
drop
dropping
projects this year.
MBS Malay dropped that
It's
video.
real.
edit.
Yeah. So literally from that Sunday when we started planning it to the next Saturday, it was planned. And so I took my EBT card, went to Walmart, racked out on all the different drinks and stuff, because it was a fucking 100 degree day. It was a horrible day for temperature wise. But here's what happened. I did that on the Sunday before, and then on that Saturday I was buying stuff. I didn't realize that literally that day, I think it was the 16th, they had just, Tracy Whitfield had just approved to do a mural for September. And so no one knew that. And this was already planned. Artists was already pulling up. No one knew that. And so on the actual day, we started doing it. And it's mad lit. I'm on live all day. And I'm just like, I don't know what everyone else is doing. But we're here and we're making it happen. People saw that and went and ran to Tracy and other people and was like, Tiffany's talking shit on her live. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Mind you, I still didn't know another mural was coming. And so And so some adults in the city came down to the mural and kind of like checked me and was trying to say, oh, you need to be blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, oh, this is happening. Oh, this is happening. And so I'm a humble ass person. I'm gonna be dope regardless. So I go on Facebook and I was like, I'm sorry that I disrupted this person's life. I'm gonna go back to doing real work, but hey, I'm sorry. And so I went and finished the mural. and then the next day, that's when shit hits the fan. People are commenting all over my Facebook talking about, oh, you don't know the rules and you're just causing issues. You're trying to break the law and da-da-da-da-da-da. And then the mayor's office flipped on me because I had just been at the mayor's office because I tried to do a sit-in and get into the office. I did get into the office and do a meeting about that whole Nathan Bills thing and the threats that all those white people were making. And the mayor flipped it and was like, listen, she just didn't know what was going on. She didn't know it was historic property and blah, 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 blah. And then I had to go on like a whole mission to try to get it completed, but it was based off of their lies. To set this story straight, Tiffany Allecia knew exactly what Court Square was. I understood it was historic property. I don't think the people knew why it was historic. So fun fact, Springfield was one of the first places before slavery ended to end slavery. In 1808, they said no more slaves here. And so we became a big point on the Underground Railroad. And so Harriet Tubman was all up and through the Underground Railroad in Springfield. And that first church and its members were the people that were actually hiding slaves and freed men. And there was this law where you could recapture freed men. And Springfield actually had like a gang, basically, who whenever they heard there was slave hunters in there, they would meet up at the church and it was like, let's ride out, we need to protect everybody. And so Springfield was a very safe place for black people. Literally in that same fucking square, they were talking about ending slavery, black liberation, we gotta guide this fucking fucked up country.
Jim Brown.
And exactly. And so it's like, where else would I put this fucking mural? We're talking about this needs to end now. This is about black lives. It's a sacred space. It's right in front of City Hall. It's right next to the fucking courthouse. People that matter have to walk past it and see it constantly. And so that's why it was put there. But of course, they just flipped the narrative to try to make like, oh, dumb black girls throwing paint around. And
you don't need permission to protest.
Yeah.
Thank you. That was the fucking final point.
It's literally an amendment. It's literally an amendment.
Saying that time, we got to get that through our heads. Because we're so used to, we don't have fire hoses on us. We don't have dogs barking at us. So we're so used to this 21st century protesting where it's like, oh, it's pretty. Let me make this nice sign and take a fucking cool picture.
People were looking at you
a
like,
fucking
did
protest.
she get permission to do that?
Nigga, no the fuck I didn't. Did he get permission to kill George Floyd? Fucking yes, because his bosses allowed that shit. But I'm going to tear down the system and show we're not going to abide by your laws, right? And it's also to prove something else. Whenever anything goes fucking wrong, but that black and brown people do, whenever they break their law, there's immediate consequences. The protests at Club SBD, I was out there for a couple of hours and I got fucking fined.
Insane. That needs to be a whole different conversation. I was gonna bring that up next.
So, but what I'm saying is like I got a fine, and so people are like, "Oh, why was she blasting music, bitch? Because they killing niggas." Like I am trying to show you that the law works for other people, but when they do shit, they don't get in trouble. How we have a whole fucking federal investigation on these people, and all of them still work there, yet a bitch can't pay music without getting a fine?
Okay, can we talk about
that 6.5 million settlement?
That's exactly what I was talking about. That's exactly what I was going to bring up. Because I see people complaining about that because that's taxpayers' money. So they're like, why is our taxpayer money going to this? But this is like, why did y'all fuck up to begin with?
Do you know that there's actually a budget for it? Like, they plan for these fucking
It's called like the rainy day
yes, the
account.
rainy day fund. When they fucking murk niggas, it's a rainy day. That's all to them. Isn't that crazy? They literally call the rainy day fund. So it's like that. The whole idea was to show that there's a two system here, and we're living the second class citizenship where we're strictly having to live by the laws, while other people get to do whatever the fuck they want on a much grander scale. And most people just miss the metaphor. They're just kind of like, oh, sign a permit, bitch, and I'm like, oh, stick the permit up your ass, bitch, and that's just what happened.
How did you feel when the mirror got taken down, though?
It was
first of all, it was better than what's up right now.
You mean the cricket letters and like the ugly yellow? Yeah, it's okay. But for me, it was more like I was hopeful that the community understood like what it meant. So I would have loved for it to be.
Like that's exactly what happened.
I would have loved for people. I would have loved for it to been up, but I do believe there was a lot of power that in it being taken down to show one, how quickly the fucking city can move when they want something done, right? How quickly they can find fucking $14,000 because they had to take it off with $7,000 worth of utensils and water and shit, and then they had to pay the people to do it, right? So we're trying to prove to them that bureaucracy works when they want it to work. But when it comes to us getting new after school programs, new roads, new fucking financial opportunities, it's, oh, we need a meeting and another meeting and a fucking slut show and then a meeting after that. And so that's what I want people to remember, that as quickly as they say they can't move, they will do it to oppress you, and they will do it to shut down your art, and they will do it to make you be quiet. So I think the statement was made. I'm hopeful that a lot of people get it. If not, it is what it is. I'm going to keep doing shit.
What do we say to the people who always claim that we've come so far from racism, so far from slavery? What do we say to those? What do we say to those people? Because I'm military. I'm a military guy, so I done served with a lot of racist ass motherfuckers. So I see them say this all the time in arguments. It's like, we done did this, that, and the third. We're so far from like nah. I check them often. I want to hear your point of view.
I think that people just need to recognize when someone is trying to pull the wool over your eyes, right? So it's like when you put fucking peas in macaroni and cheese. Like, you know the fucking peas
Who
are
does
there.
that?
White people trying to get their kids to eat vegetables. So, like, you know the peas, you know what I mean? The peas are so fucking clearly there.
Oh.
You might taste a little cheese every once so often, but you're still eating fucking peas, right? And that's a very, very simple metaphor to what's happening. People are changing the title. So, no, you cannot be on a plantation and be a slave. However, if you break the law in the United States within our Constitution, you can still have enslavement-like conditions, right? So instead of it being a plantation,
being in prison absolutely allows you to be a slave. That's
so
legal.
that's the definition.
It's in the law.
That's why they can't pay. That's why they can pay you whatever you want.
That at all.
Yep, that's why they can pay you whatever you want. That's why they can tell you exactly what to do with your time and all that. And that's why you have to work for free. Like there's so many companies. There's so many companies that are making literally 5,000% profit because they're partnered with the prison industry. And so when people say things are so different, you have to really analyze it, right? So black women make, I think it's 62 cents compared to a white man's dollar. And that's not equality, right? We can't afford the same things you afford, even if we had the same job. So if you were a white man and you made $1 for the same exact job and the same resume, I'm only going to make 62 cents of it. And so I'm literally working twice as hard to get half of what you have, right? And so it's like you have to be able to identify the different things that affect our lives that will create a slave-like existence, right? How many people have to show up to work under penalty of starving, under penalty of not being able to protect their kids, under penalty of losing their housing? Like, you might not be slave to a master, but you're slave to your job. You're slave to the social welfare system that also works in the government's favor, because when you're in these housing programs, when you're doing all these different things, there's people that are making money off of that constantly, right? I'll give you an example. There's a house in Springfield that was for sale. Someone, one of my friends was trying to buy this house for me. I have really cool friends. It's my favorite house, right? So he gets it. He has the money. He's about to buy this house for me. They're about to sign this deal, right? And then he overhears these people's conversation because they were just throwing him around. Come to find out, the homeowner, listen to this, the homeowner got that house from the city of Springfield. So because it wasn't for sale for so long, it was on for sale for so long. The Springfield gave them that house for $5,000. It's a $500,000 house. $5,000. And then they gave him $50,000 to fix them up with the agreement that you would have to sell it in 5 years, right? You're following? But if he doesn't sell it, here's how he benefits it. He was able to also link up with the city and make all 4 units in that house fucking a social welfare. So even though people talk shit about the people on social welfare, they don't understand. You're paying your $15, whatever, your $20 or $100, but the person who owns that place is getting the full amount allowed by law, and they're getting a constant check from the government. Literally, every month on the 1st, they're getting paid by the government and getting rich off of these programs. And so I say all that because it's like we're living in this existence that's all the way down here. And this whole world is existing around us that's functioning at such higher fucking levels, at such higher fucking advancements, at such fucking higher, like, compensation because they don't have to abide by the same slave mentality that we've been forced to live under.
How do we get people to this knowledge?
We have to learn. We have to stop being so aggressive against all. First of all, there ain't no fucking shit such thing as white people's shit except for potato salad with raisins in it. Most other shit in this fucking world was created by black people and should be experienced and excited about black people. I get told all the time that I talk white, right? Versus the fact that Africa was the most educated place in the entire universe for so long. Like, they burned the Library of Timbuktu, which is known as the most books in the fucking world. Yeah. So it's like you have
brought that up on this podcast.
You have to.
I'm glad you said.
Yeah, that. you have to stop fighting, just learning and growing and developing and leveling up yourself. Like, I think a lot of us get content with the bare minimum, and like there's not enough gold fucking chains in the world to make me fucking feel like I need to buy one right now, you know what I mean? And shit like that, where you have to realize there's other things that you can focus on that's gonna be able to make you a better person and exist at higher levels in this world. Until we're able to let go of a lot of the little shit, right? Like, for example, you guys are doing a podcast that has done 132 episodes. Like, you deserve to smoke. You get what I'm saying? What the fuck are these bitches partying for every weekend? Why do you have bottles and you're fucking Fashion Nova and she and shit on, posting in the same dirty ass room? What the fuck are you celebrating? Like, what are you celebrating?
Talk about it.
You know what I mean?
And the bottom.
Yes, bitch.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you yesing? But them same bitches is about to have 250 likes and about 10 DMs.
Facts.
So we're also celebrating and glorifying them fucking shits. I say I made a business, I get 2 fucking likes. That's not true. I'm kind of more popping now. But if I did it like 2 years ago, you know what I mean? Like, I get 2 likes.
Yeah, I love you too.
I love you.
Nah, I mean, it's the same thing with the podcast when we
you already know we done had them private conversations.
Yes,
I don't give you. Yo, this is one of the you're one of those people that I actually like. Yo, off camera, like to the side. Yo, I absolutely love what the fuck you're doing.
Thank you.
This is me publicly saying this. Yeah, I love what the fuck you're doing. Yo, to be honest with you, I don't know nobody who's doing the shit that you're doing. I know a few people who have done this shit and had their little runs for like a month or 2. I do know those people. I know certain people who are fucking absolutely for the agenda. They fucking they're you're gonna find out on the 22nd.
Turn up.
On the 22nd next week, you're gonna find out exactly how I feel about you and this one other person that's from the city. Matter of fact, yo, shout out Josh Dodds. Yo,
I literally just met with him today, and real? I have a big announcement in February that's related to the Dodds family.
Oh,
and like, yo, that's
dope.
how you know. That's
Word.
How you know.
So,
I literally just left
between
him and Whitney.
it's you and Josh Dodds, like you and Josh, like those are the people that I feel like are absolutely 100% for us, about us, and can articulate that for
and
us better than me. Like, I have a platform, but who listening to fucking me? I don't. Yo, you ain't listening to me. I'm a drunk. Fuck, I'm a pothead. Like, what you? I'm a drunk. What are you getting out of me? Like war
Me
stories.
and Dad have had the privilege of both living.
Shout out Josh, yo.
Yeah, living life, right? But then also being able to navigate the white world. Like he's a higher up at UMass.
He's like a professor or something, right?
No, that's a whole different another college. Like, so he's a professor at a different college, but he's also, I think, assistant director of, I can't fuck up his title, but so we're in both worlds, and unfortunately, in these fucking rooms,
he can only say so much.
You can only say so much, but we can also learn the game and learn how to play it fucking better, and we can also see all, like, the biggest fucking mistake that white people have made and will continue to make is underestimating our community, especially in communities like Springfield, where we're a lot more interconnected.
I think the community underestimates the community too.
Yeah. But when you start getting a collective of people that can start directing what people can do, like, yo, when I realized I made it this year, honestly, and it's so simple compared to everything that I did, was when after the market pop-up, we had a balance, right? And I asked for a donation, a flash fundraiser. I, made my goal in 5 hours. $788 was in my hand in 5 hours from about, I think it was 41 different people. Once you can start having control of where people put their money, and then they believe in you because you're actually doing things for them, shit changes. We've never had all those pieces together in Springfield. So you might believe in the vision, but a lot of our fucking organizations are corrupt as fuck. And you know these people, and you know that you've invested in them and before, and you know that you're not going to get your deal. So you could believe in change, but you ain't putting your money nowhere. Now we got places to put our money. Now we running up on the mayor's office. Now we taking over buildings. So I feel like in our near future, it's going to be a lot different because all the pieces are coming together. We have a fucking insane social media presence. One of the things I want to make next year is also making a monopoly on our fucking content, in terms of if there's specific people, a group of 20 people of heavy hitters in Springfield, and if we all posted or talked about something specifically that we agreed on, we can change the whole conversation of what Springfield talks about that day. And that's powerful, And so I think it's about really assessing where we are and then fucking recognizing the fake, literally. One thing that I will say is Springfield isn't as bad as people think it is. You know how a lot of people, you think about 30 years ago and you're like, oh, that's the 70s. No, bitch, 30 years ago was the 90s. You know what I mean? But you're not
That's
there.
crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
That's crazy.
But you're not there yet. And so people are still riding on this gang criminal high that was from the 70s and the 80s.
What happens to your IG page? We're recognized fake.
Nothing happened to it. I just really suck at not doing things I don't want to do. And I don't like the whole having to be existing on social media. So people are following the page. There's nothing on it.
Yeah, I saw.
I need to get interns and people that actually
to run your
enjoy
page.
doing
Yeah.
that, because it takes a lot of effort. It really does.
We know,
I'm
right,
super
Mike?
bad at
Right, Mike?
responding to
We know.
people and messages. So I have to figure that all out. But yeah, we just need
I saw
to
it
be
too,
more
Mike.
strategic.
Something it's floating, right?
We just need to be more
I
strategic.
was trying to listen.
We just need to be more strategic about what we're doing with our energy and our time and how
What do you think about having a third party?
a third party.
Mm-hmm.
I
feel like, obviously there's
for me,
more than two.
there are more than two
But
parties. You're talking about the Diddy
there-
shit with the
I'm
black
talking
party.
about the majority of the people in the U.S. I feel absolutely agree with each other. Even if there's just that one or two things you don't agree with, there's just
I don't think so.
I don't been all across this country though.
I have too.
I
just think that there's the middle of the country in certain part of
to Cali.
So
were
you in the military? Were you in Cali?
Yes.
But
I didn't live on base. I lived off base.
Okay.
So I didn't dealt with regular ass people.
So in California, so for example,
Cali's a blue state though, so it's a big ass Massachusetts. There's no difference.
It's a blue state because
I lived in North Carolina and Florida. Those are the ones I feel like you should talk about.
It's a blue state because it's profitable though. It's not
It's a blue
necessarily
state because of the population, just like New York.
Okay.
That's exactly why. Because inner cities, that's what makes it. There's no way. New York City and L.A. County are the most populated places in the country.
Right. So what I'm saying is like, it's a blue state. Yes, fact, full statement. What the things that they're aligning on are different principles of being blue. However, it's not necessarily.
And New York just shut down.
It's not necessarily for the black or brown community. It's not it. So, for example, if you want to be gay, there's no other fucking place like San Francisco to be gay, or fucking San Diego and shit.
I was about to say, yeah, San Diego.
So, you get what I'm saying? So it's like they built that culture, right? And so other people state, we can bring it back home, bring it to Springfield. Mayor Sarno is a registered Democrat and has been riding this Democratic ticket for the entire time he's been in office. We can point out the policies that he's made that has also hindered us and has been the opposite of democratic. For example, when Trump was doing those deportations and we were supposed to be sanctuary cities, Boston, New York, LA says, so what up? We a sanctuary. Mayor Sarno said no way in hell, and he was ready to fucking call Trump and do these raids right along with them. So what I'm saying is, you can say that there's a place that's voting blue, then you can say that it is blue by population, their philosophies, their policies, and what they're actually doing doesn't necessarily align with those ideals. And I will even go as far to say, as Democrats themselves who have paraded themselves as Democrat, because if you guys remember, Democrats were the party for slavery. Mm-hmm. It only switched after it was in their favor. Yeah. So what I'm saying is, what we are aligning with democratic principles and saying this is aligned with black people, it's really not. It has nothing to do with us. They just were able to say that this is what they're going to do. They got millions of people to vote that way, and we're still waiting for the fucking Democratic reign to fall. That's what I was trying to say.
I've been a Republican since I was 18.
When we were talking about the
I don't know, man. I done seen legit Mexicans separated from their families. I done seen people deported. My own family deported. Mm-hmm. I had uncles deported. There's all types of things that I'm pulling from.
So that's what I'm saying though. If these are happening, and that's one of the highest deportation places in this fucking country is your Blue Haven of California. So it's like, you can say that.
So then what you're saying is fuck being a Democrat and let's all go red.
No, that didn't come out of my mouth.
That's all politics.
All these places that all my family and all the places that all the people that I know are getting deported are from blue states.
I'm saying we are politics.
So then what should we do about these blue states that are deporting people that are trying to come here for the safe havens that you're talking about?
What I'm saying.
So let's talk about that. Listen, because my uncle also got deported to Jamaica and ended up passing away. What
I'm saying is this. So it's like, we started this whole train of thought based off of what question? What do you think about a third party?
Gypsies parties this Saturday.
A Republican.
Wow. So bust it open special.
The whole conversation was about how the Democratic
Bitches
Party,
everywhere,
the Republican Party, or the third party, right? That's where you started the question at.
I feel like most people have this same.
Let me finish my point so you can hear. So what I'm saying is that the answer,
me off with that.
The answer is not that, and that's what I need people to say. I keep going back to the fact that we're between 10% and 13% of the population, and we're worth a couple of $1 trillion. That is what we're worth to them. Don't think at any of these Democratic rooms, black and brown people are at the priority of the list. They do get to benefit off of us, so they do need to make sure that they have our votes.
Now here comes the real shit about it. There's always going to be that 10 to 20 to 30% on one side. There's always going to be that also 10 to 20 to 30% on the other side. It's about that 40% in the fucking middle. Fuck the extremists on this side and fuck the extremists on that side, because neither of those sides are gonna fucking do anything because they're just on
neither of those sides decide votes anyway. It's all the people in the middle. Like,
it's all the people in the middle. What are we gonna do about the people in the middle who want to smoke weed and also own a fucking gun? It's all the people that support gay rights and want to fucking do all this other shit. Like what are we gonna do about those people? Fuck the extreme shit. What are we gonna do about the people in the middle?
So what I'm telling you is, it's not even extreme. That's
exactly what it is.
Hold on, let me explain.
Go ahead.
When you think about Republicans versus Democrats, at the top they're both eating. And that's what I need people to understand. They don't give a fuck about the middle, and they actually don't give a fuck about our philosophies. What they care about is how they can fucking profit off of it and control our behavior. So the middle, it's in their benefit to keep the middle apart, so they can choose what matters.
You're not answering my
you know
question.
What I mean?
Fuck all of that. Fuck all of that. What are we gonna do to get all those people? Because there's more people in the middle. That's 40%.
Right.
That's 40%.
Right.
40% of America are like, yo, fuck that and fuck this. What are we gonna do with that 40%?
You vote how you want to vote.
40%, and I don't know that
that's what
that
it is.
Statistic.
That's
listen, to answer your question, if it is this 40%, they're saying fuck you, fuck them by words. You're not actually saying fuck them if you're still getting up and going to these jobs. If you're still dependent on the systems to protect you and build you and sustain you financially. So if y'all really about this fucked up shit, it has to be an entrepreneurial spirit. You have to be able to gather in your community and build your own laws and policies and regulate yourself the way you want to, which is why I'm not worried about the rest of the country. I'm just worried about this 25-mile radius we got. And so that's what really it means when it says fuck you. It means I can turn up at the mayor's office or wherever the fuck I want in the city because it really is fuck you. When you are asking the same systems that have oppressed you since this country started to change and then fix your problems, you're already losing.
That's why I don't understand
you
how
know what?
fucking countries
and so
have
that's
queens
why you
and
see
kings
you don't
and
hear
shit.
me saying I'm a Republican, Democrat, social. You don't hear me saying none of that. I'm literally saying I fuck with Springfield and I want Springfield to be better. And by any means necessary, I'm going to do that. You know what I mean? And that's the only way we can get to the next level. If you think these buildings, these structures, these people, that is all based off of racism and oppression is going to ever really have, because we can enter those rooms, right? We can be in Congress with them. But you can be damn sure after their meetings with the black people, they have more exclusive meetings. And then they have more exclusive meetings. And it literally rises like that. And these people aren't the same people that was in Congress with you. And they really don't give a fuck with you. But they're paying the people that were in Congress with you. And so they're going to align with those decisions. So we can't control for all of that shit. We can't control about other people's influences and how that's going to affect their decisions, which then affect our lives. But we can control what we do with every fucking second of our life. And that's how it changes. When you decide and the people around you decide and then the generations you birth decide to create that change and then live out that change. So not just say, oh, fuck this system and then show up for that system and re-solidify that system. It really has to be fuck them. And it really does take struggle and exhaustion and being broke and trying to figure out your next steps. But people have to want it. A lot of people are comfortable with this level of oppression. And I just have to be real. Like, we're not being whipped. We're not fucking, you can get to a certain extent if you're selling out and you're doing certain things. Like, it's comfortable for some people. And you get clout the closer you get to whiteness. So it's like, until people are really fucking fed up, it's not going to change. And I'm telling you, it's not going to come from Congress. It's not going to come from one party.
You're the second person that in the past, I don't know, we can have that fucking that's looking for, or sounds like you're looking for, I don't know, some type of anything from the people around you.
Yeah, because that's all that really matters, right? If we can control how we're spending our money and what we're investing in, right? There's, for example, if we were really organized, there was at least, I think it was something crazy, like 30%, 40% of Springfield on unemployment. All of those people had bills to pay, so maybe not the full $19,000 they could have donated or invested. But if everyone invested $10,000, right, we could have literally bought a block or two in a span of a month. But we're not that organized. We don't put our money where our mouth is.
Yeah, that's exactly where I was going to, because there's definitely mad people out there who fucking legit just want to have people wait on them. Like, what government program can I do this for that? Where could I do that for this? What could I do this for that? And this is like, why don't you get up and do your own.
Yeah.
Create your own.
There's so many issues.
Do any fucking thing.
Like, there's so many issues that we're dealing with. There's some people that thrived in the face of oppression. There's
Hey,
other
look, and if
people
worst comes to
that-
worst, there's mad fucking temp agencies.
That's
Like, what's good? Like, what are y'all doing? Like, I'm not talking shit about no fucking body. You can absolutely get it any fucking way. You can absolutely get it any fucking way.
You
And there's
can.
people who fucking don't do shit, but they be the ones that complain.
And then there's also, we gotta remember, and that's why I keep saying intersectionality with all these issues. We talked about after school programs. We talked about proximity to gangs. We talked about the government influence. We also gotta talk about it. We're very uneducated, and that's nothing wrong. It's a fact, right? When I graduated from commerce, I was number 3 in my class. My first paper I got at Howard, my professor wouldn't grade. They're like, this is your ideas are beautiful, but this is some of the worst grammar I've ever seen. I was literally number 3 in the school. So the level of education at commerce was literally levels below other high schools across
You
the
gotta tell
country.
me that. I knew that.
No, but you
I
gotta
already
say
know that. You gotta tell me that. You
Shut
can
up.
tell.
I went to
That's
commerce for
what
fashion.
No, listen.
Y'all ain't go to commerce to
You
learn.
commerce, I'm like, dude.
Y'all went there for fashion.
what is
Y'all
that?
go there to learn.
You went to
Y'all
where?
went there.
You
But
went to
you know
middle
what I mean?
school again?
It's real.
That's what you did.
It's
Like,
real. And so when I got to my peers, right, because we all did 12 years of schooling, I got to my peers, and I was supposed to be on beast mode with them, but just because of where I lived and the education that was provided in that system, I was already 10 steps behind. So
I grew
it's
up on Tyler. I grew up on Tyler Street. That was 2 seconds away from Commerce.
So you're talking about people
I might as
that
well have went to
might have
Commerce.
never heard anything about credit, don't know nothing about a budget, don't know nothing about a business plan, don't even really fucking read out loud.
But Commerce is
never
a big.
been trying to.
Okay, can we
You
talk
know
about
what I
that
mean?
though? How
So if
beneficial
you're
Springfield
trying-
schools are
so
though,
if
because
you're trying to say- hold on, let's
Commerce
finish
is a
that point.
business school.
If you're trying to say,
Hence
if
commerce.
you're trying to say, why don't people just do it? Because the shit isn't just done.
Commerce
These
is a
niggas
business
is
law
trained.
school. Putnam, you go there for vocational. Central, you normally go there for sports and this and that. And
Yeah.
third. So it's like in middle school, you have these.
What happened to
you have
sci
these
tech?
vision.
Science and technology.
Yeah.
They used to have adult engineering and architecture programs.
There was a
but that's
time
gone.
where there was like only lesbians went to sci-tech. Y'all remember that day? Y'all remember that?
The
Y'all
day.
remember
The
that?
one day.
Right,
Y'all
that
remember
one
Y'all
day.
remember that? Y'all remember that whole 10
I need
years?
you to stop blowing your personal experiences up to like.
But these are my personal experiences. What am I gonna do?
But okay, is it statistically significant comparative to everything else?
There was whole rumors where
You-
you had to be a
You
lesbo
heard
to
him
go
name
to
all-
sci-tech.
You heard him name all the Mexicans and gay people in California that he knew, but was it millions of people? Is it significantly statistically significant?
I'm pretty sure all the Mexicans that I done fucking dealt with, you can multiply them by 20, and you'll.
Inappropriality math? Is this what this is?
No,
It's
this
gonna
is
be
Mexican
way
math.
off.
This is Mexican
Like
math.
torch
This is
math.
IPA
This
math.
is Mexican math.
Oh man.
You multiply. One Mexican could build a house in a half a day. So you multiply them by 5. You got like 16 houses in how much time?
We're gonna have to come back and delete this episode, and we should start getting popping. You know,
Yo, y'all
our
lying.
second one, right?
That's fucked up. Y'all be, yo, Mac Wade done been at, he's the one who been, I'm racist. You done said I'm racist on this show 15 times.
I am racist.
All right, then, so then shut up. How many Mexicans does it take to build a house?
I ain't racist in that way.
That's not racist.
I ain't racist in the way of statistical beliefs or stigmas and all of that shit. Prejudice and all that
You
bullshit.
guys know that though. You can be prejudiced and discriminatory, but you don't have enough power to be racist.
Shit, I'm racist.
That's
the
what.
whole
That's
idea-
yeah.
the
When
whole
white people
idea
be
of
calling black
racism
people
is that-
racist, is like no,
Yeah.
we're being
So what
prejudiced. We're
about,
not being
like-
So the whole
racist.
idea of racism is that these ideas and belief have moved from prejudice and can affect.
You could just be a
Your
coon
life.
ass nigga.
So you can
I've
be
heard, yeah.
stereotypical.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
Just
like,
a coon ass
you-
nigga.
me
Can-
saying-
I want you to say coon ass nigga just one time, please.
Coon ass nigga.
That was so cute. That was cute.
Yeah.
That was
Yo.
I'm joking. But like, so for example, if I say, "Oh, white people are fucking crackers," I hate white people.
Now you're
No
racist.
money has been lost. You get what I mean? But if a bunch of white people says, I hate black people.
What is the definition of racist? What is your definition? Does that mean you have to lose money for me to not like your race?
You have to be oppressing people based off of this belief.
Okay.
So it has to be more dangerous, more harder, more likely that this person is going to be in danger because of that oppression. So racism is dangerous because there's a consequence to it. If you are just prejudiced, it doesn't matter. If you're discriminatory, though, it does matter because that discrimination is going to cause different outcomes. You're not necessarily going to get the job, not because you're not qualified, but you are discriminated against. That kind of thing. So.
Thank you.
You right.
God, yo, because
I'm prejudicial as fuck.
I done served with a lot of. I'm gonna tell you. I tell this. They heard this shit over and over and over again. I done walked in on the conversation. The motherfuckers arguing on how to properly salute Hitler. Like it's just like.
That's terrible.
It's just like what the fuck? Like what am I supposed to do? Like I still serve with these guys the day after that, the day after that, the day after that, the day after that. And it's like, mind you, we're training. We're not even in war yet.
Yeah, my ex didn't talk about it, but he said that it was pretty bad.
It's racist as fuck.
Was pretty bad.
Whatever the fuck stereotype you're supposed to fit in is exactly where the military puts you in.
Yep.
If you're black, you're supposed to eat fried chicken, like grape drink. Mm-hmm. If you're Asian, you like fried rice. Mm-hmm. You like you know karate, like shit like that. It shit don't make no type of sense because all the Asians I knew, they cook, ain't no type of karate. All the niggas I knew, there was motor T. A lot of them tried it. I mean, that's a whole different conversation. That's a whole different conversation.
Real. It's real.
But like, I don't know.
It's real. And it's funny because it's not funny, but in other places the racism exists, you just don't see it as much. Like they do it, like the military is more open. That's what I've seen when I was in that brief marriage. Like you can, and there's not necessarily a consequence for it. So like if something comes out at a business or a company, it's kind of like, and then you can always call HR. But like the military handles all their shit within themselves. Yeah. So it's like it's not gonna go anywhere.
I don't know motherfuckers that did some crazy shit within the military. And they didn't even get arrested outside of it, but they're not allowed to see their kids today.
That is
because of what the fuck they did in the military. That shit is like insane type shit. I didn't even tell y'all that story. Like it's just wild. Like they legit take even adultery. Like you can't cheat on your wife. Let somebody find out you cheat on your wife in the military and they fucking snitch. Like you getting kicked the fuck out. Like you can't even fuck in the I don't know about the rest of the military, but it's a Marine Corps order that you can't fuck in no other position other than missionary. I can't hit my wife from the back.
That's fucked up.
I can't hit my wife from the back.
That's
it's a Marine Corps order. Like what? Why? If I get caught hitting my wife from the back, I get kicked out the military. Why is that?
That's fucked up. I've heard that in religions, but I didn't know the military did
religions.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all heard y'all can't hit from the back in religion?
There's certain like
y'all heard that before? I never heard that before.
Christianity. Like so I was raised a Pentecostal Christian.
Yeah,
and so you know like
kinda,
the strict
I'm halfway.
You know like the strictness of the Pentecostal like
it depends on skirts.
And,
yeah.
Previously like men and women was like and it was normal you would sleep in different beds, like you're only in the bed together when you're having sex and stuff like that. So there's a lot of different fucked up things. I think you should be able to do whatever you want when you're doing this.
Yeah, me too. Especially in today's world, how you not doing whatever the fuck you want to do? Mm-hmm. Hey, if you with somebody who don't let you do whatever the fuck you want to do.
Connecticut, Massachusetts, and New York has a very strong BDSM culture, and it's a very like good place to be.
BDSM.
You like getting tied up and shit like that.
What's that?
Really?
Go to my OnlyFans page.
What's that? What is that?
How do I explain it? It's by definition
BDSM.
So
it's like that
domination, sadism, and masochism.
50 Shades of Grey type shit.
But that's so whack because she was like forced. Like, you're supposed to submit. Anyway, So basically, BDSM is a community who puts energy into developing your sexual experiences, and all the fetishes you would think of is just.
I'm
normal.
fucking intrigued. I'm so
Yeah, we
confused
can tell.
right now,
All
yo.
the fetishes
We
you
can
would
tell.
think of is completely normal in BDSM, and so it's a whole lit world, yo. It's a lit world. Anything you want to do, there's groups of people you do it with, and it's just dope.
Okay.
It just is what it is. So yeah.
I feel like y'all done been to them parties.
Well, I mean, I think Gypsy's throwing one on Saturday.
Oh, perfect segue. I don't think they're doing all that.
I mean, from the pictures, I
so
done seen
excited for the new
vaginas and buttholes
experiences.
in picture form.
Vaginas and buttholes. BDSM. Butthole.
No, don't talk about BDSM like that.
What does the B stand for?
Bondage.
Oh, you said that already.
Domination, yeah. So it's really about just
He's so
finding new
childish.
heights of your identity within your sexuality.
I'm
So
dead ass.
childish.
I never heard that shit before.
Yeah.
I'm so childish.
Yeah. It's literally about
You still
finding
fucking with your jeans on, that's why.
Shut up.
Niggas is not fucking with their G's, so that shit hurt.
Nigga fuck with his jeans on.
I learned that in high school. That shit hurt.
Nigga still
Like,
zipping.
goddamn, I
He's
told
still
y'all,
zipping
I'm a
down the
hairy-ass
zipper.
motherfucker. I'm Puerto Rican.
He's still zipping down
That
the
shit
zipper.
hurt.
So yeah, there's
This is
like
before
these,
Manscaped.
like these networks, right, that you would be in, and you would have. There's like all these different networks. So like there's networks for swingers. There's networks for unicorns. Unicorns is a single woman who is bisexual and will have sex with couples. And so like you basically find the world that you want to fit in, and whatever opportunity you want to have sexually, you can.
That's the
create it with
Q
these
in
people.
LGBT, right?
Queer.
Q. That's the Q. That's
Queer.
what Dave Chappelle was talking about. Like, I don't know, but I want to get in. Y'all did not see that. Y'all did not see that special. He said, I just know I want to get in this vehicle. You understand? Yo.
I'm not queer. I'm pansexual, so I don't know.
What does that mean? I don't even know what that means.
Pansexual means that it's not about like what the physical part. It's about the vibe, right? So I find out whatever you have once we get there. But until we get there, if we are there, it's gonna happen. Does that make sense?
I guess.
So like it's your energy,
it absolutely makes sense.
It's your heart, it's your mind, it's whatever you're feeling around this person that makes you like, oh, you're about to get it, and then you get it. But other people, like if you're straight, you have a penis, you need a vagina to be there in order to enjoy yourself. Or if you're bisexual, it could be either or. If you're pansexual, it is what it is. Whatever happens, happens.
So then what's the
What?
I know.
Definitely cutting that part. Definitely cutting
Back to
that part.
Heineken's next week.
I'm editing that part out of it. That's fucked up. Oh my god. Oh, that's fucked up. That's fucked up.
I'm not editing it out here. That's too much work.
People should probably. Most people just assume what they are, but people should probably research what they are, and it just helps.
I'm black.
That's how you
Say it loud.
I'm a black man.
I'm black and I'm proud.
I know
Yo,
what
there
I
was so much. Yeah, I feel like there's even
we
still
covered
so
a
much
lot.
we could still talk about. But I mean, we're 2 hours in. Where can everybody? You're not accepting any more vendors, right?
Yeah, we are.
You are. So then,
21st.
where can everybody?
All right, so I did not do very good at promotion, and I feel like I talked
You
about
have
it a lot.
over 80 fucking
But-
vendors. What do you mean you didn't do good at
No,
promotion?
this 2 hours. We experienced a lot of things.
Yeah.
But let's go back. Okay, ready? Professional Tiffany in 3, 2, 1. Hi, my name is Tiffany Allecia, and I'm the president of Black and Brown Wall Street, and we have a very extraordinary event coming up. From December 26th to December 31st, we have the opportunity to take over the Eastfield Mall in its entirety. We are filling it up with Black and Brown businesses. So far, we have 80 businesses from New York, Connecticut, and Massachusetts, and we are looking for you to join us. We are also accepting ally applications, which means if you're white or anything besides Black and Brown and you're down for the cause, you can definitely be there. We are looking for performers and fashion designers for some things that we're going to announce soon, and we're really excited, so I hope to see you there. So even if you can't be a vendor, from December 26th to December 31st, you can show up and really put your money where your mouth is and support the Black community.
Absolutely. That is the most professional plug we have ever had on Inappropriality, and we're gonna cut that clip, and I'll share the fuck out of it. I'll share the fuck out of it.
Nah.
Yeah, we got that. Right now, tell everybody where they can find you personally. Yeah. Instagram, your Facebook.
I'm Tiffany Allecia on Facebook.
Instagram.
Facebook Tiffany Allecia.
Word. All right. Until next time, we are out this hoe.